Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals to episode 454 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast here at Words About Games. I'm one of your hosts, Sammy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by the 3-star champ himself. It's David Moody.
Howdy diddly do, everybody. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's the holiest day itself. It's video game day, y'all. Hail video games. I hope everyone is well.
Yeah. Sorry, I was waiting for the hallelujah.
Didn't I say hallelujah?
You didn't.
Hallelujah.
There it is.
He did the hail thing, but yeah.
Yeah, you did hail video games, but you didn't do hallelujah. And like I was like, is this really Moody? Is
Something's wrong here.
3 adoras in a trench coat. 3 adoras in a trench coat. And speaking of 3 adoras in a trench coat, we're also joined this week by the bag buddy themselves. It's Vitz Patel.
What's good, everyone? Hope you enjoyed your time off without me on the podcast.
We did, yeah. We did.
Yeah.
We did. I mean, you watched it.
I sure did.
You seem to be the stabilizing force that prevents Moody and I from going too far into unhinged territory. If last week is anything,
I did pick up on those vibes. Wow, when I'm not there, they just go at each other.
Wow, we weren't even really going at each other. We were just
going at you.
We just went off the fucking reservation. Rolling into them
some would say we rolled into it.
I hear there's a shiny new catchphrase that we've got now.
Shiny new catchphrase.
I did have a question about last week's podcast, though, Vitz, because you did leave a couple of comments, which I much appreciated because, you know, I knew you were watching it. And one of the things you said was that if you take the raunchiness out of it, is the wildest thing that anyone has ever said on this podcast. And I just want to clarify, you realize at the beginning of the podcast we were discussing stabbing you, right?
Oh, yeah, that's all fine. That's all fine and dandy. That's okay. The board. You take the raunchiness out of it, that's where we draw the line. That's my line in the sand. So I'll go no further.
Our brand is violence and horniness.
Yes.
All right.
It's a good job we're a video game podcast.
That's it. We woke up and we choose violence, and we're also horny. those are tenets.
I mean, I've been told I'm getting sent to horny jail multiple times, but it hasn't happened yet.
No doubt.
Bluesky put me in horny jail, so
that's where all the horny people are.
Yeah.
No doubt.
How's everybody doing?
How are you anyway, Vitz? I hope you were well, sir.
It's been a hectic week. It's been a hectic couple of weeks actually. Yeah, with a lot of life admin to do, a lot of personal stuff going on. But yeah, we've got a few blocks in place now, and yeah, it's going well. Haven't had too much time to sink into video games and whatnot, but I'm sure we will figure that out in the future.
Video games? Why would you play those?
I know.
How you doing, Moody?
I'm very good. Very good. It's payday tomorrow for me. So I'm very good.
Let's fucking go! Let's go! Make it rain.
But yeah, it's week's not been bad. Started a bit like not sleeping really well or anything like that, but like last night and the night before I slept pretty good, which is really kind of, I feel like I've got a lot more. I feel like I'm awake. there's neurons are firing in here right now a little bit. So might see how it is by the end of the podcast. Who knows? But really, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm gonna, from a game that we spoke about last week, I'm gonna buy Final Fantasy VI tomorrow on PlayStation 5, and I'm gonna be playing that over the weekend.
That's cool. Are you going to make the mistake I made and buy just the one, or are you going to buy the Pixel Collection?
I was just going to buy the one. So if the Pixel Collection is cheaper, I will probably just do the Pixel Collection.
It's not that it's cheaper. It's that the Pixel Collection on PlayStation
you get more bang for your buck,
is 1 through 6. So you get all 6 of the first Final Fantasy compilation. And if you do what I did and just buy Final Fantasy VI because you see it and go, oh, it's on sale, I'll buy that. You cannot then buy the Pixel Collection. So if you wanted to buy any of the other Final Fantasy games, you keep having to rebuy them individually, which costs more money over time.
That's sneaky.
Yeah, it's not like Steam, where like if you buy a thing in a bundle and then you go to buy the bundle, you buy it cheaper because you're buying the other 5 items instead of all 6 on PlayStation.
What's
It
it
doesn't
called?
work like that. Pixel Remaster Collection.
Yeah, and who knows? Because PlayStation have their Days of Play sale going on at the moment, so it might be even less expensive. I would
It
say
could be,
cheaper.
yeah.
I'll just say less expensive.
The other downside, the other like flip side, interesting flip side to how the PlayStation Store in specific works is, like if you can't buy something, it just does not show you the price. So like if I already own something, like I can't see what the price is. So like if I was to say like if it's like I couldn't be like if it's Yakuza's on sale on PlayStation, it's only £5. Like I can't do that because it just says unavailable. But it says that
back
for
in
the
the
Pixel
days-
Remaster as well. It just says unavailable. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, back in the days when I had PS Plus, like if I had claimed a game already and I knew I was getting rid of PS Plus, I couldn't then go see, okay, how much would it be just to buy this game? Because it says, oh, you've already got it.
Yeah.
There's no way you could buy it again.
Like I haven't been a PS Plus subscriber for a good long time, but like when I was, I like claimed a bunch of games on it, thinking, hey, they'll be in my library and I can just download them whenever I feel like playing each individual one. But when you unsubscribe from PS Plus, those games don't disappear from your library. they
get
just
locked
hang in
away.
their library with a little padlock in the corner. So if I'm ever scrolling through my library, it'd be like, hey, what games do I actually own on PlayStation? It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
The Pixel thing's not coming up. They're all coming up as individual games.
Also, they changed the icon on my phone for this stupid
Yeah,
Days
'cause
of
it plays-
Play
Yeah,
thing.
they've done
Days
for
of
me
Play
as
sale.
well.
It looks awesome.
I mean, I don't like it. It's different.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, I get the Final Fantasy comes up. Final Fantasy 4, 3, 6, 2, 5 all come up as individual, but the combination thing's not there. Did they get rid of it? Did Square Enix say
They
no
may
more?
have got rid of it. You might just have to buy Malachi.
No.
The bundle's there, 42.24.
You know how I just spent
blind?
ages describing how like I can't see the bundle on PlayStation, and then immediately went to my phone to see if I could find it.
It's current 35% less expensive than buying them each.
How blind am I? Don't answer that question.
Might not be called Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster.
No, it's definitely there. It's just called Final Fantasy 1 through 6 bundle, but they are the Pixel Remaster. I can see the artwork here.
The problem is there's like 7,000 Final Fantasy games. You can either search specifically, or you can just type Final Fantasy in, and
Yeah, you
that
can
goes the
search
next
for
20
Final
minutes of
Fantasy,
your life.
then 1-VI, and that should take you through.
Would it not be IV-VI?
That's really weird. Like it's just not coming up for me.
Final Fantasy I. You've purchased Final Fantasy 6? Yes, I know.
Yeah, 4.83 stars from 2.6K ratings on the PlayStation Store.
I mean, it's a good remaster. The 6th one was anyway. I haven't played any of the other ones. But,
All right, is this app gaslighting me right now?
probably.
I'll have a look at it later. I'll look at it tomorrow. It's tomorrow movie problem.
It's tomorrow's problem.
I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah,
I'll keep an
whatever.
eye out. And
For sure that was through podcast content.
Just
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
looking
Staying
at
with
their
us,
phones
listeners.
like, where the fuck is Final Fantasy?
Exactly.
I see all of the other
No.
Final Fantasies.
They're all there.
They're all there.
Where are the others?
Why do they all say purchased? Oh my god. How many Final
No,
Fantasies
they
have I
don't.
bought?
None of them do.
If
The
you
only
can't
one-
find it, if you can't find it in the app, then try looking it on your desktop browser. Because that's how I find it just now.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
That also works.
PlayStation Store.
Now we're just PlayStation tech support. Fine.
Uh-huh.
Hello. You're through to PlayStation Store tech support. How may I direct your call?
Oh, it's like a switcher thing, and they've got the cables.
Yeah, no, it's like proper old school. Like I have to actually take the wire out and plug it into the correct port so that the call goes to the right place.
in my mind, the costumes are from John Wick as well, of all the operators there. How they're all tatted and they got the pink
Yeah,
outfits
Moody's
on.
just like, hey, I want to buy Final Fantasy 1 through 6 bundle, but I can't find it anywhere. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, please hold while I connect your call. And then I just plug it in. And then like I accidentally plug him in. And it's like, hello, Continental.
Exactly. Hi.
And
Yeah,
the
it
next thing you
appears
know-
for the on the website store.
So can you sign in through there and then buy it from there?
I don't get money until tomorrow, mate. So no.
Fine.
But yeah, I probably would be able to. But I can just add it to my cart, and then just go on my PlayStation tomorrow and do it then.
like 1 minute
I'm
past
not sure if
midnight.
that works, but
Yeah, no, the
Give me the
cart.
offer, put it
If
on
you're
cart.
signed in, the cart like is transferable.
is the card?
Yeah,
done?
yeah,
Okay,
big
cool.
time. Yeah,
Fair enough.
Add to cart. Yes.
and then the cart it'll just stay in the cart. Like PlayStation want you to buy things.
I wonder how many push notifications Moody's going to get. You left something in your basket.
Delete that. Don't need that anymore.
I got one of
So,
those.
yeah,
I went.
okay,
I was
that's fine.
idly browsing the Waterstones website, and I did not click on any. Like I did not click on any individual products or add anything to my basket. I was literally just looking up to see like books of the month, yeah, books of the month, and then like I did this. I got on because I was going into town, and I had a voucher for it. So I was like, hey, what are the books of the month? Do any of them sound interesting? And the answer was no. I didn't really care for any of them, so I quickly backed out of the site.
No.
And then before I got to town, like before I got off of the bus, I got an email from Waterstones. Hey, you left something behind, and I was like, I did what? I don't.
Did they find my wallet or something? Yeah. What did I drop?
What? How? I haven't even been yet. And then I like looked at the email, and it was just this garbo list of like random books that I hadn't even looked at, which was just like, hey, why don't you buy these books? And I was like, I've never heard of any of these books. Why would I buy them? This is like anti-marketing.
You just got algorithmed is what happened.
I'm sick of algorithms. I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I don't hate? Cool things.
Smooth McSegway. She's back.
Some would
For
say
now.
she rolled into that segue.
Sure did.
Sure did. Yeah, cool things we like. This is the new segment we do at the beginning of every podcast just to kick things off with a bit of positivity, talking about something cool that we like, that we watched, read, whatever, in the past 7 days. Vitz, you haven't been here, so I'll let you say your cool thing first. It's like show and tell, I guess.
Sure. So for regular listeners of the podcast, I like things that go boom boom and often zoom zoom. And this week, Netflix dropped their latest sports series, which is F1 Academy. So this is similar to Drive to Survive, which is the Formula One branded series. But this one is all about the all-female junior single-season category. And it covers the second season, which is the 2024 season. And it's very, very good. And the soundtrack's banging. And yeah, it doesn't focus on the full field of all the races, but it does pick out some of the highlights of the season and then kind of focuses on them. 7 episodes long, so shorter than a 10-episode season that you'd get on the F1 Drive to Survive, but it's very, very good, and I highly recommend you check it out.
It's like the gender pay gap.
Yes,
In TV
very much
form.
so.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's cool. Nice that they're letting the women drive the cars now.
Yeah, well, this is the whole thing. I mean, Susie Wolf is behind it, and she was the last woman to test an F1 car in a competitive session. And yeah, the whole point is that women don't get the same opportunities to see if they can pedal as fast as anybody else. And the whole thing about motorsport is it doesn't matter who you are. The only competitor is a stopwatch. But you know, these women need someone needs to give them a shot. So we have series like this, which is on the F1 calendar. So they are racing in front of all the F1 paddock and all the people up there who can make some power decisions as to where the careers of these racers go. And each of the 10 teams, or sorry, 10 of the teams, they are backed by F1 teams, so they will carry the liveries of a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Mercedes, and what have you on the car, which gives it a lot more credence and a lot more branding as well, and a lot of extra sponsors and partners come over as a part of that because they want to seem to be engaging with this series. And I think it's a positive on all fronts.
Nice.
When do you think we'll get a woman F1 driver?
Oh, not for a few years yet.
Think in 10 years?
Hopefully. Yeah, and I hope that they are there based on merit as opposed to someone just thinking it could be a marketing opportunity.
Either way, it'll go down that way. So that's how the internet is. We know that. So half the internet,
ruining Formula One.
Scream it. So half will go, yay, finally, about time type of thing. Good luck to her type of thing, and the other half will be like, God's sakes, this woke shit, fucking F1, blah 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 blah.
And
blah,
she's
blah.
only there because she's a woman.
Everybody knows you can't drive cars.
It's the reason Lewis Hamilton's there. It's just because he's black and everything. It's just like, come on, guys. No, he's the 7-time world champion. Should be an 8-time world champion, personally. But let's see where he.
I know Michael Massey had something to say about that.
Yeah. He was like, no, white guy this year.
It's a good job all the Lewis fans aren't salty about it. It'd be terrible if they were still holding that grudge against them.
I haven't watched it regularly since. So I guess that means I'm holding a big grudge.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm kind of partly with Amy a little bit. I've kept up to date and everything, but yeah, I haven't really properly looked at it for a while. And I think it is that just it should be like, it was 4 years ago now, guys. Get over it type of thing. But at the same time, racing hasn't really been that great either. So
it really hasn't, no.
I heard about Monaco over the weekend. I heard about it. It's Monaco, guys. What the hell do you expect?
Yeah, I was actually out and about, so I was at the apartment sorting stuff out. So I wasn't able to catch the race live, but it doesn't seem like I missed much. So I think I dodged a bullet there.
Funniest thing was what when Verstappen said after the race. He was saying, "Yeah, next year we should try." No, he said next year we should try throwing banana peels behind us.
That's it. Full
like,
America.
Respect. I don't think you should be a 4-time champion, but yeah, what the hell? Respect to that. And that was funny. That made me laugh.
What's your cool thing of the week?
My cool thing is, I won't like him. I was fast thinking about it, whatever. But I saw this today and everything, and it's coming out next week. And that is Predator: Killer of Killers trailer. This is directed by the guy who did Prey, Dan Trachtenberg. It's like a 3-story animation of 3 eras of people fighting against the Predator. There's a samurai era, a World War II or World War I era one, and a Viking era one as well. And the animation just alone is just making me go, fantastic. That's awesome. That looks absolutely incredible. Sign me up. Stan Trachtenberg, Prey, one of the best movies when it came out that year. It was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to the sequel or Badlands, whatever the one he's doing later this year. And yeah, it drops next week, and it's just a person who loves animation like I do. I'm just like, I'm all over this and everything. So sadly, people, it's on Disney Plus. If you know other means, that's your decision and everything like that. But no, yeah, go and check this out if you can. It does look really good. So cross fingers that it is when it releases.
Fingers are crossed. I got a Dropout TV subscription a few weeks ago. I finally gave in. I got I'm probably, because I asked Vitz if you'd seen Fantasy High. I've seen clips, and I was like, me too. Well, for years, I've seen clips of this gang of people doing their thing, and then I think I saw a full episode on YouTube, and I laughed so much, I was like, you know what? I'll give them a month to see if they win me over. And I watched. I've watched a lot of stuff on there, but the main one I started with was a game show called Make Some Noise, which is basically just Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
Where it's just 3 contestants battling for made-up points, and they do improvisational comedy prompts. So the one I showed you at the beginning of the podcast, for example, which was the speech that Martin Luther King wished he'd given instead of "I Have a Dream." And then the person who gets that prompt has to make it up on the spot. And it's very, very funny.
It's one of the funniest things I've seen in 2025. So
the whole series is incredible. Like, obviously with improv comedy, it's like sometimes there's whiffs. Things aren't like as funny as they might have been, but then there's some fucking gold in there. They did an entire episode of Karaoke Night where it was like they obviously can't do like licensed songs.
Licensed music.
So what they do is they've got this big binder full of like made up songs by like real artists. So it's like you do a song like by the Beast in the style of the Beastie Boys called Slip and Slide, and then they have to improv a song. Which was probably like a highlight of. But I've started watching Fantasy High. I'll be back with cool things we like at some point in the future when I finish watching Fantasy High, which is the D&D D20 Dimension 20 series, but it's very good.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend checking out Actually as well.
Yeah, it's on my list. Yeah,
show.
I've been making my way through Game Changer as well, which is is the game show that changes every week, and they don't tell the contestants what the game is, and they have to figure it out as they play. And there's some fucking bangers in there as well. But yeah, no, it's really good. It's very cheap, and they encourage password sharing. Unlike many other streaming companies, they actually don't give a shit if you share your password with people. It's crazy, but
That's awesome.
if by sharing your password with other people, those other people might end up getting their own subscription because they want to watch their own. They want to watch it too.
Wild behavior. Wild.
Go, wow, this is really good.
But yeah, also quickly off the top, sorry to everybody who's looking out for episode 3 of Pixel Pop Stars. We had no more technical issues, and
it did. I tried to watch it live, and it was like, wow.
the Twitch gods ate it, and then also something happened with OBS on my end, and the recording got balked as well. So yeah, we're punting the final a couple of weeks down the road. We had some availability issues, even though everybody that signed up was like, "Oh yeah, I can make the final date." And then it turns out no, they can't. So we'll figure out a date where all 3 are available, and we'll make it work.
Oh wait, you meant June 7th?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Video games are happening on June 7th. Like, I just want to say,
calendar? No, I can't.
Whoever
do that
it was,
I was thinking Julian calendar. No.
And Vitz, feel free not to tell me whoever it was who caused these scheduling issues, but feel free to send them this like part of the podcast as a contestant, who signed up to be on Pixel Pop Stars, knowing there was a chance that I could go to the final on June 7th. That I was prepared. I was prepared to turn up, and it's my fucking birthday on June 7th. So I don't know what your fucking excuse is.
To be fair, they had like a wedding to go to.
That's no excuse. Well, wedding to go to. Fucking hell, man. People have wedding videos. Just watch it afterwards.
What if it was their wedding?
There's a VOD. That whatever. Then postpone the wedding. Pixel Pop Stars is important.
If they love each other, they will postpone for 24 hours.
Think about it like this. You could walk down the aisle or like stand at the end of the aisle again. I'm not sure who this person is. And they could just be like, oh, I'm an okay person. I'm getting married. This is the best day of my life and everything. But it would make it better if you were also the Pixel Pop Stars Season 2 champion.
Exactly.
This is true.
This just makes you a more desirable person.
How much your future bride, husband, or whatever would be like so impressed by you walking down or being at the aisle with a belt there,
push a button,
just going like that.
Confetti.
Like the father comes down, just nods saying, "Now you've earned my respect."
And Vitz just suddenly appearing out of nowhere, going, "Congratulations!"
I'm on the jumbotron they've got on the
wedding.
And all of the former contestants. Give them an honor guard.
There. Yeah, exactly. I would have turned up. I would have been like that.
But
we would have golf
at the end.
for
of course, yeah, the golf
thematic consistency.
Yeah. So stay tuned to my socials to when we decide to put the final together. But it won't be for a couple of weeks because
to put the final contestants out of their misery.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also giving time for OBS and the Twitch to not burn down.
There is that.
Cool their shit down.
But I was also toying around with a new game mode that I might throw at the final.
Nope.
I'm calling it 20 questions, where I've got the title of a Game Before show in my head, and each of the contestants get one question each, and it's
it's 20 questions.
Rotated segment.
20 questions, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And
that would be the most infuriating game to play in a competitive environment. I love it.
This is it. But it might make for amazing content, so we'll see.
Thing is, though, we have over 1,000. We have over like 100 games that Vitz picked for like his favorite thing. We could just go back through that video that Amy's cast away, sealed away, and unseal it for us to watch it.
No,
just to see. It's got to be one of those 100 he's picked. There's a 90% chance it's Baldur's Gate, guys.
Just say, first question.
That's if it's
is it Baldur's Gate?
Dang it.
Ding, ding, ding,
Give her the
ding,
points.
ding.
Is it Metaphor Fantasio?
Imagine if they did just list 20 games and like completely waste the game away. Like,
I just didn't pick any movies or TV shows yet. It's
It's
all
a
just
clear
video
all
experience.
games.
Yeah.
Is the Expedition 33?
If you want, if you want to put it on nightmare mode, put me in the seat. Get them to ask me 20 questions about the video game that I'm thinking of.
Is it not Hollow Knight?
They will all get lost.
Silksong.
They will all get lost
That's
in the
true, like,
horrifying, jagged-edged maze of my mind, and none of them will emerge the same.
Yeah. We think going down hunting for games in Steam was crazy. Going to Amy's mind.
I've seen some shit.
I've seen things.
Speaking of games,
Yeah.
got a podcast. We should do a podcast. Moody, you came at me with a good idea for the podcast this week that you don't think I'm going to take seriously, which I was a little.
I think you are going to take it serious. You
Good, I'm
said
glad.
you're going to
I
take
said
it
it,
serious,
but
so I'm expecting you to take it serious.
I did. Five games we hope to see at Summer Game Fest. I really interrogated that sentence.
Like, I can't wait to hear your list here and everything like that. I'm so looking forward to it.
I had to add on.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have a topic?
No.
Because there's only mine and Vitz's down. That's all. I just want to make sure.
We've been doing 2-topic podcasts for like 2 months now.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. That's all. You didn't say. That's all.
It
I was
flows
unsure.
better.
My brain just needed to ask.
Plus, I put so much into my 5
These
games
5
that I
games.
hope to see at Summer Game Fest. That I
Yeah.
was like, shit, like, I haven't even had a chance to think of anything else. Like, Vitz has got a
know.
topic coming up, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I even going to say to this? Like, I've got nothing left in the brain. I did have to add an addendum to this, which was if I was to watch it.
I thought you
Otherwise,
would.
I couldn't
Yes, this is it.
I'll just say right now, I don't really intend to probably watch this show or anything like that. Like, I probably will just like wait until all the videos come online and just do it that way and everything like that. I have no interest in watching Jeff Keighley's Keighley Fest or anything like that.
Sure. I'm down to watch my favorite content creators react to the stream, but I'm not down to watch it as a solo event. No.
Hey, Vitz, if you want to
Yeah, I
watch
can't even do that anymore.
if you want to watch me react to the stream, just clip this out and paste it in the corner of the stream, and that'll do you.
Or
There you
go
go.
back to the one I think me and Amy did 2 years ago before Vitz came on, where we're flying around with our Star Trek ships.
Call of Duty was on for a long time, man.
It was on for a long time.
Someone said, "Are those spaceships in the background?" I was like, "Yeah, they're Star Trek ships." And then Moody got his Star Trek ships, and then we went.
It was.
Was that the one where Jeff was on stage with a woman who was promoting Cuphead, and he got really awkward because he'd never seen a woman before in his life?
I don't know. It was the one with Dwayne Johnson and his energy drink.
Oh, the one where he didn't put a shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know which one that was. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you take the wheel.
Yes, so next week is Summer Games Fest, everybody. The Keighley Ego Fest is here and everything. I'd completely forgot that it was coming. I won't lie. Until and then I was thinking of a topic, and then I was just scrolling through YouTube and that, because all right, what could I be interested in? I saw the Games Fest, and I went, all right, you know what? But like I said, I don't intend to watch it or anything like that, so let's just go 5 games of what we hope to see or anything like that. Or looking forward to hopefully hear more about, even if that means like just seeing the trailer after the show, because like I say, I intend to watch it and everything. So I'm going to start with which I actually think is going to happen. Resident Evil 9. I think we will see Resident Evil 9 at long last. They'll talk about it, probably even give a release window, which will be next year.
So we're talking brand new story, because at the end of 8, it was Ethan's story is finished. So yeah, interesting to see
Can we get a Resident Evil game that stars the Boulder from Resident Evil 5?
just a revenge tour.
Yeah, Boulder's Revenge.
I'm back. Now where's that man who punched me into this hot lava?
Yeah, I'm interested to see which character they're going to introduce, which that's going to thirst over. So yeah, very much looking forward to Resident 9.
Oh, but you think about Resident Evil 9 doing it is, like, the first time, like, it obviously wasn't an accident, but it felt like an accident.
Yeah.
This time they're going to try way too hard with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be really forced.
But it's Capcom, right? So like they knocked out the park with Resi Village. And
no, I don't mean the game. I just mean the thirst trap.
100%. No, that's what I'm talking about. So obviously, the Thresk happened, and then Monster Hunter happened, and we got 2 baddies in that one. And
so we're going to get 3 in this one.
Absolutely, it's escalation.
It's how marketing works. I'm a genius.
Yeah. Infinite growth.
Well, there's some infinite growth. All right.
I will be interested to see if they go back to third person or stick to first person. Obviously, first person's done incredibly well with them for 7 and 8, but obviously the remakes for third person were very well received overall and did very well for them. So I would be interested to see. For me, I'd just say just give us the option to say, oh, you want to go first person, go first person. You want to go third person, go third person. That's how I would say it. That's what I would love to see in anything like that. Just give people the option of how you would want to play it, but we'll see.
I did find it hilarious, though, that they went to such lengths to hide Ethan's face, because they just clearly hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
They should make the switch to second person. Be truly groundbreaking.
That's it.
I don't know how you would make a second person video game, but I'm sure it could be done. Cool. Resident Evil. I like Resident Evil. I don't know if anyone's noticed.
Yeah.
Who do you want to go
Resident
next?
Evil is a great franchise, so. Vitz, what have you got? What games for you?
Yeah, so on my list of games that I want to see at Hot Game Summer, I refuse to call it Summer Games Fest. Hot Game Summer is a much better title.
E3?
The first one for me is Akami 2. I know we got the reveal over Game Awards. I don't think there'll be anything substantial here, but I just want to see how they are elevating the formula with a new trailer of some kind. So does it give the vibes that it's a rinse and repeat of a 3D Zelda clone, or are they now aping off a Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom kind of design when it comes to what we're going to do with Amaterasu, if it even is Amaterasu that we're going to be playing as. But yeah, I adore the original game and looking forward to seeing more of it.
I still have to play that game. The first one.
Yeah.
I own it now. It's on my PlayStation. It's installed.
There you go.
One day I will get around to it. One day.
She will get around to it.
When the vibes are right and you're up for that kind of game, then yeah.
I don't even
That's
know
the thing
what
about
kind
it,
of
yeah.
game
So
like
it's a 3D Zelda clone.
Oh, I always thought it was an RPG.
Nope.
Fascinating. Maybe I can
it
still
might
get
be
a-
in the sequel.
Maybe I can still get a
Painting,
refund on it.
It's got a painting mechanic. So during combat, you get a screen which drops down in game, and you paint those different characters on screen, and essentially they work like runes of a spell. And then they impact stuff that's happening on screen. So say if there's a projectile coming towards you, you can drop the scroll and paint a circle around where the projectile would be, kind of thing, and then it would cast a spell to dispel the projectile, kind of thing. It's really interesting.
Nice.
Sounds awesome.
It does actually sound really awesome. I'm adding it to my playlist. I'm just.
Amy. So come on. What is your first game?
So I've already heard a couple of like qualifiers or like rewordings of the initial title. Like you just said there, a game I would like to see, and I'm like, no, we didn't say like to see. It said a game that we hope to see, and I stuck to that dogmatically. What do I hope?
Love it.
That I get to see.
Give me your best shot.
So I've got obviously I've got 5 shots.
Yeah, and I want the first one now.
My first one is Claire Obscure Expedition 60 DLC expansion.
Yes.
I was like, what and obviously, you know, like there's a lot I would like to see narrowed down to 5. So these aren't like the top 5 or anything, but like I was like, what do I really want to fucking see? And this was the first one that came to mind. Probably because I've just played Claire Obscure. I want to see that expedition and play it. Not in a full game. I think that would be stretching it way too far.
Yes.
But like a little bit DLC, a little bit of an expansion, couple hours here, you know, just like of all the chads and punching their way into the monolith. Like,
their
let's go.
uniforms cannot constrain their muscles.
I think there's a chance that you get a DLC. I just don't know if we'll see it here, obviously, because the game's just come out.
Oh, sure.
Maybe at the Game Awards later in the year, but I do think there's a chance for DLC.
Realism was never a part of the sentence that you sent me on Discord. So.
No, that's true.
Also, shout out to Samford Interactive for 3.3 million copies sold after 33 days on sale.
Yeah.
Congratulations for that.
Yeah, well played. Well played, Universe.
Exactly.
It's very good, yes, and that would be my first at the top of my list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I do think we'll get the game will probably get DLC maybe if it was in the pipeline for them already. But like I say, yeah, congratulations to the team anyway.
Sure. Claire Obscure is one of those games, right, where like I'd love some DLC for it, whether it's the crazy one I just pitched or like just whatever, right? But then like I would like to like have like an expansion or two, and then have Sandfall just like move on to something else completely. So like not a sequel to Claire Obscure, or like a spiritual sequel to it or something like that, but like just like move on to a different IP.
Are you still sticking with the game, Moody, or are you taking a break from it?
I've been playing it, yes.
Okay, cool.
I haven't played it this week, but I played it over the weekend. Like I said last time, I think you were on. I'm trying to not play over
your
the week.
game time because
that's what I'm trying to aim for. Yeah.
It's game time.
Exactly.
Don't worry, Vitz. I'll force him to play it while I'm down visiting him next month.
Yeah.
In the car on the way to Kilmarnock.
While driving.
It's fine, I'll drive.
I'm sure Amy knows how.
I wouldn't trust my partner behind the wheel. I think I want to trust you.
Steering wheel and 2 pedals. How hard could it be?
How can it be?
3 pedals. Ames.
Yeah, 3. I was going to say.
Just go and stop. Like,
it's not an automatic.
What is the 3rd pedal for?
To change the brakes, to change the gears.
That's it.
He needs to change gears. I'll just go to consistent speed all the way.
Just in first gear, bounced off the limiter.
Oh god, my engine's gonna go on fire. But a game I am hoping hopefully that we'll see more about. I was thinking that they might. I was thinking about maybe a new game from them because they've already announced this game. But I was thinking, you know what? They showed it at the Game Awards, and this is their whole. I'm thinking this could be their quote unquote Claire Obscure type of game, like just break that everyone's talking about and everything like that. And that is a Project Sentry. I would like to see more from the Yakuza team. Project Sentry. The game's obviously coming in and everything like that. I'm thinking it's basically going to be their next game, basically. I'm surmising. We don't really know what else they're doing right now. Surmising, obviously, probably Like a Dragon 3 on the way and everything, but we don't know about that at all, anything like that. And hopefully, cross fingers, Judgment 3, please. I would very much like to see a Judgment sequel to Lost Judgment. But yeah, Project Sentry, just from the small clips of what we saw, looked absolutely gorgeous and everything, and it's completely different to what they've ever used before. And like going off the mantra of like a lot, I get where a lot of people have said, like thinking they use the same assets all the time. That's why they're obviously able to throw out the games in a fast pace and everything. Which has never really bothered me or anything to my level because I'm just like, we're getting good games with great characters. That's all I care about. You know?
Hey, I already know my way around. Great.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, unlikely Amy. I am slowly getting there, but not to the level of Amy yet. But yeah, but this is like a whole new world, a new engine, and well, not new engine, a new development cycle they're doing it, and it looks going for. I would very much like to see more of this game. We will eventually, but I'm hoping we might see something next week.
That makes sense. It's a good chat.
If we don't, it'll be the Tokyo games. Tokyo.
Oh yeah, the TGS would be a lock for that if we don't see it like that. Yeah. So given that I'm doing a hot game summer, I'm lumping in together all the other shows that make up Summer Games Fest, or the ones that Keighley decides to brand as his own. I am looking for what's new gameplay wise from Ghost of Yotei, and I know that it's locked in with, well, as much as video games can be these days, for October 2nd release. But I'm looking to see exactly with the air quotes. But I'm looking to see what they are bringing new kind of mechanics wise, and we got a tiny glimpse of that from the recent trailer that we saw. But I'd like to see it in action with some gameplay and maybe a few story elements as well. So yeah, Ghost of Yotei. Very excited.
More Eric Ishii.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try Ghost of Tsushima. I think that's gonna be my next game after Final Fantasy VI. I did
it's
a
video
test on
game
it.
as video game. I will say that much. In terms of everything is very formulaic, and but it plays to its strengths in that kind of thing. And for me, I played it at the time it released, and it was very much a palate cleanser to The Last of Us Part 2, which was like pretty much the last game I played before that. And it was nice just to be in that world, which is stunningly beautiful, and it's super saturated, and there's too many leaves blowing around, and just to be in that. Okay, we've got a list of objectives to do, we're going to go point to point to point, this is what we're going to do. And it was nice just to get into that flow and be interrupted every 6 seconds by, oh, here's a yellow bird, we must follow it, because that's the rule.
No, yeah, I've always wanted to give it a go. Like, I tested it one time when I was working at PlayStation, but it was like, quickly do this load thing and then put it back type of thing. And I was like, oh, I want to give it a go. Let me go. You have
Just
to
like
work,
your boss is like trying to take the controller. No, no,
I've almost done it.
So I've never got round to it, but I'm interested in Yotai. I think obviously because of my real interest in Asian Japanese culture and everything like
what
that.
What is it? You're going through Japanese phase right now?
I really have been, mate. It's insane. Like, yes.
I should bring all of my Akira Kurosawa films down next month.
I have got a Blu-ray player now. Don't know who I got it from though.
You know how long with your PlayStation?
Yeah, I do have a PlayStation, but I want to keep it separate.
Two different rooms.
Okay.
Plus, yeah. Even though my PlayStation's down in the living room right now. But
Usually two different rooms.
Usually, yeah. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to giving Ghost of Tsushima a try to get prepared for Yotai and everything, and just because of my love for Japan and everything like that. I can't wait to see more of that type of thing.
Hell yeah!
And apparently, going from the people who I listen to, like who work and live in Japan, and like do stuff for there, like they say it was massive respect towards Ghost of Tsushima for what they did for like how they presented Japan and the culture and everything like that. So,
like
definitely.
I played a bit of it when it came out. But the problem I had was when I picked it up was like around about the same time that I'd just come off of furlough. Apologies to everybody who's trying to forget 2020 ever happened. So like sticking with a long video game was like quite difficult at that moment. But like the one thing I really liked about Ghost of Tsushima was like it was billing itself as like this Assassin's Creed style sort of thing, where it's like you can sneak and stab people sneakily, or you can walk directly into the enemy base, point at the biggest person there, and go, "Oh, come here a second," and then fucking stab them.
and you have the one-on-one, the cutscene plays, and they notch their sword, their katana out, and then it's very much like the very intricately timed thing where you just go one stroke to off the dude, and it's amazing.
Like,
there are a few.
That was how I started all fights. Like I am so over this open world sneaking around shit, I literally everywhere I went, I would start every encounter with like, which one's the biggest? Come here a second, mate.
Exactly.
Amy played it like she played Apex.
Yeah, basically. I ain't got time
like
for this sneaking shit. Just let me stab everybody.
To Moody's point about the authenticity, that whole mechanic speaks to the authenticity of how samurai went about their business. That how the whole being sneaky was, dishonorable, and that was not the right way to go about it. If you got beef with someone, you go up to their front door and you challenge them. And for sure, like Nate Fox, one of the leads at the Sucker Punch at the time, who was like, this game is all about authenticity, didn't get everything right. So they introduced like kunai into the game. But the time where Ghost of Tsushima was set, I think kunai came around like 400 years after that time period. But it's fine. It's ridiculous.
We'll try to make this massive kick-off about it, and like, it's not a big deal.
Puddle things all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. But the rest of the stuff they tend to nail, and the vibes that you feel just being in that game is it's pretty special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Vitz, what's your next game, sir?
That was Vitz.
No, you've already told me that. Amy, what's your next game you cannot wait to see or hope to see at the Game Awards? Not Game Awards.
Summer Game Fest.
I hope to see
the shit fest next week
at E3. I'm gonna. If Vitz can call it Hot Game Summer, I can call it E3. Especially considering now the title of the podcast rhymes. My next game that I would like to hope to see at E3 is From Software's Lord of the Rings.
Is that Dustbloods, or is this a
no? It's From Software making a Lord of the Rings game.
I can see that happening.
Which I know we've talked about this once, and we realized.
Is it still Embracer Group?
Huh?
Is it still Embracer Group that has the IP?
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm. That would be a title that I would be all about. Like I'm sure we'll get into it later on in the podcast, but the critical reception of Night Rain has kind of cooled a lot of my hype for that. So, but to see like a traditional.
Oh yeah, it's a traditional From Software title.
Yeah,
like
100%.
utilizing the Lord of the Rings IP. With all the cool shit from Lord of the Rings. Like I just think like a From Soft the Souls games are basically. I think they're very heavily inspired by Lord of the Rings.
I would agree.
So like I think giving From Software like just license to be like just make a game like your games, but with like fucking Balrogs and shit.
Yeah.
Sick.
And you can still have the tragic tales of kings and whatnot. Like
you can have
the King of Rohan like being an allegory to Vendrick and stuff like that. And just 100%.
There's been like multiple ages. Some fucked up shit probably happened in one of them. Like you could set a game just after the fucked up shit where you walk around and go, Jesus, everything's a bit fucked up around here.
And you can actually go back to the Shire and Saruman comes back in his multicolored robes. 100%.
There's no doubt everyone's anticipating what their next standalone game is. No doubt about it. That isn't a multiplayer game that they've just released and everything. So it would be very interesting if they did do an IP. I won't lie. It would be very interesting if it's an IP that it's already out there and everything. I think that would be awesome to see that. I think there's no doubt about it. I think everyone would be like, "What the fuck?" If that ever happened,
me
everyone
too.
would literally be like, "What the fuck?"
That would be one of the precious few rare moments where I saw a video game trailer and actually did lose my mind.
Everyone would be like, "Gollum failed, so From Software could run for us or walk or whatever."
100%.
They saw the failure and they went, "I can do better."
All right, we're gonna need to really give it the good old college try this time.
Exactly. Next game for me is Tides of Annihilation. An upcoming fantasy and adventure game developed and published by a Chinese studio, Eclipse Glow Games. The game is inspired by Arthurian legend. Absolutely. I saw this game a while ago. I think it was the PlayStation / thing that they showed, the state of play or whatever. looks absolutely gorgeous and everything. And I'm just like, it's on my Fantasy Critic. So
No,
hopefully
I
we'll hear
have
from it.
noticed that the last 2 games have both both Fantasy Critic picks for you.
Yes,
Arthurian Legend's cool. We like Arthurian Legend.
Yeah, so and it looks beautiful, the animation, like how you two said, like how beautiful
Looks like
Edition
Bloodborne.
33 looks for, and this one I saw and I was like, this looks gorgeous. So I was like, you know what? Why not indeed? And everything.
He plays Gwendolyn. Cool.
Oh hell yeah! Amazing stuff. So the next game that I'm hoping to see at Hot Game Summer is more from Assetto Corsa Evoluzione, or AC Evo. So this is a racing game which is currently in early access, and we're getting drip-fed kind of updates and contents of new tracks and stuff. What I really want to see from them is how they are pushing their single-player content forward. They were making huge song and dances about it's going to be the best single-player thing ever, and I just want to see how it's going to evolve. And obviously, this stuff isn't going to populate into the early access builds anytime soon, but I want to see the vision of where it's going, because I jumped in it for early access because I was like, this is probably the cheapest it's going to get before launch, might as well jump in. But yeah, I want to see where they go with this, because I'm yearning for a racing game with a brilliant single player mode, because I'm not about that multiplayer life of getting binned off at the first corner because other people can't hack close racing and all the rest of it. But I want a meaty single player career to get into, with brilliant AI and the ability to manage teams and manage drivers in between stints, and have your stints being simulated when you're not in the car and stuff like that. And they had hints of that in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but yeah, hoping that we get more in Evolution.
That sounds cool. This game looks fucking sick. Sorry.
What,
You look at tides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evolution?
Yeah,
Nope,
I'm like scrolling down, and
no.
it sounds really good. Like at the bottom, it's like, oh, there's a bit of Shadow of the Colossus in there, where you, like the boss fights, you climb these massive.
Amy,
fucking
you said the
things.
buzzword. We're looking it up. You said Shadow.
Yeah, no.
Which game are you talking about?
Tides of Annihilation.
The one you brought up.
Yeah,
mate.
it looks awesome.
Like
Absolutely
I was
awesome.
listening to Vitz, like Assetto Corsa and early access, and like getting better and stuff. But the entire time I was just scrolling through the Steam
Oh,
page
this
for
game. Yes.
Tides of
Amy heard
Annihilation.
racing game from Vitz and completely
Like
blanked them
you'll
out.
see several fucking different facial expressions where each paragraph is just like, what the fuck, this is great.
Yeah, looks.
Oh yeah, I remember this game now. I forgot the title of it, but yeah, seeing the key art for it, yeah, this game looks amazing.
I just added it to my wish list. I was like, fucking, this game sounds amazing. And then I knew if I just seeded the Shadow of the Colossus part in there, I'd get Vitz's attention.
And we got ourselves an absolute baddie as a
Gwendolyn.
antagonist, it would seem.
And
Exactly.
she's kicking ass, man.
Yeah.
Amy, what's your third game?
So my third game, I have them all written down on my phone. My third game is a Star Trek role-playing game made by Larian Studios, collaborating with the creative talent behind Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Like, it doesn't have to be a Star Trek Deep Space Nine game. Like, I mean, like, the people that made Star Trek Deep Space Nine awesome, collaborating with Larian Studios to make a Star Trek RPG.
That would be awesome, no doubt. We've been like we got fed a decent storied Star Trek game in Resurgence, I believe it was.
It was decent.
It was really decent. We really liked it.
I like the story. I like the characters. I thought the choice bit was a bit heavy-handed, where it was like you didn't wave at this person in the hallway, and now they're trying to kill you.
Now they're gonna fucking hate you. Now they're gonna
kill me. Like,
it was just a wave.
What the fuck?
I have to die now. Yeah, no doubt. I would love to see a new story-based Star Trek single-player game or something like that. And
yeah, like I'd like to see a follow-up to that game, like that addresses one of the flaws to it. Would be cool. Just anything really. I'm thirsty. Like, we don't get Star Trek games.
We know.
Please.
We don't.
Multiple kinds of thirsty, dear listener.
Yeah.
Horny for Star Trek.
That's it.
Yeah, again, I think that would be awesome to hear. A new Star Trek game.
Fucking hell. If
Yeah,
any of
no
these
doubt.
things actually happen, you need to check to make sure I'm not in cardiac arrest. By the way, just so I'm clear about how much I want these 5 specific things to happen.
I'm just thinking in the reveal trailer that Nurse Chapel just walks up to the screen and Amy just loses it. Oh my god, it's happening, it's happening.
And then Larry in Studios comes up on the
Yes.
screen. Oh, she's dead.
I mean, Vitz will just talk to each other and say, "You know she's dead, right? Yeah. It's just you and me on the podcast this week. I know. Yeah. You think we should go and check on it? Nah. Don't worry. She'll come back eventually.
Did
Speak
she
on
give
podcast.
you the
Come on now,
password
yeah.
for
Get it done in an
YouTube?
Next game for me is a game. I'm hoping we will hear something from and everything. It's been a few years. Understandably, why it's been a few years for where they are situated in the Ukraine and everything. But I hope to hear back. Hope to hear something from Replaced. Replaced looks absolutely an incredible concept for us. 2.5D sci-fi retro futuristic action platform where you play to reach an artificial intelligence trapped in a human body against its own will. It's like the start alone just tells me everything. It's from CodeSync and Thunderful Group. I hope we do hear something from this game and everything in the future. But I understand situation in Ukraine and everything could be holding them back and everything. So
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's remarkable what they managed to achieve in light of everything they're going through on a day-to-day basis. And I hope this game is a success on every single level for them. Because they're for what they've had to endure, they deserve so many wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we don't hear anything at all, I completely understand, and I will never
course,
complain about it at all. You know, like their safety and everything, and hopefully peace in their land will come sooner rather than later.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Vitz, fourth
hello.
game, sir.
Yes, fourth game that I would like to see a hot game summer. I put in here Project 007. So this is IOI Interactive, the team formerly behind the Hitman series, who I believe still have the IP for Hitman. They announced that they're doing a next Bond game. And I haven't played a Bond game in many, many years. But I'd like to see what they're doing. I'd like to see what they're doing from a mechanic standpoint. Because from my experience, the previous Bond games have been Call of Duty clones. Indeed, one of them I played was developed by Sledgehammer, and it was a reskin of Call of Duty that year. So I'm interested to see what they're going to take from their learnings of what they did on the Hitman series to have that kind of espionage aspect back to Bond rather than this shootout. And of course, Bond is a problematic character in many, many different ways. But,
really?
Yes.
Describe in detail how so.
Okay, how long we got?
I would say we haven't got a long enough podcast. We'll be here forever. We'll be here till next week.
There's still an hour on the clock. Get some of it in.
Yes, I'm interested to see how they kind of redefine what a Bond game is. Now, given that we only got a tease trailer a couple of months ago, or announcement trailer, even though we knew the project was happening, that was like the first thing that we saw. So maybe we get a CG trailer off the top of that kind of thing, a hot game summer, but we'll see. But I'm interested. I'm more curious to see what they're doing with Bond to revolutionize things.
My biggest worry for that game is, which I do think we will see soon. I think we'll see it sometime this year. It might not be this year, it might not be summer, it might be Game Awards either way, but I do think we will finally see it. My biggest worry is that it'll be Hitman clone, and I never liked the Hitman games. Like, I was really pissed off at the last Hitman game. So we'll see what happens. I know Hitman's like Gamey's a big fan of the franchise and everything, and for the Hitman's team, and like everyone was obviously over the moon for IOI getting away from their former Square Enix, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amy. Yeah, Square, wasn't it? Yeah, and was able to keep the Hitman IP for them to continue to be a success. This game is something massive for them. They probably do really need to make this land. And also like with who owns Bond now properly.
Amazon.
I don't know, like how fast will they be trying to push them to maybe get it out? So I don't know. Who knows? That all comes down to legality and what was already signed before that was signed and everything. So Amazon might not be able to do anything. So, but either way,
they might be busy exploiting the IP by themselves.
Sending people to space,
blowing
where they
rockets
just
up,
feel
sending pop stars into space.
Yeah. Amy,
Okay.
you've already blown us away for 3 games. What is your next game?
What's
Do you want to see?
Fitz just gave me a really good idea for a
shit
video.
fest.
So.
I thought you was going to say, fuck the last game I wrote up. This is the one I want from
I'm
Vitz.
just writing it down. Vitz gave me a really good idea for a video. My number 4 game. So you know how like Sega did that thing where they're like, hey, we're bringing out all of our old games and remaking them. And then like I was like really I liked the announcement, but like I think they could go bigger. And by bigger, I mean bigger for me, like personally.
Yeah, of course.
So my 4th game is a Dragon Force remake / remaster or / port that mostly just captures the old game and doesn't try to AAA-ify it. Please, for the love of God, it doesn't need to be a AAA game. Just make the game again.
That's fair.
Like it was on the sand. It's still good.
It's Dragon Force. You want a new Dragon Force game?
Sure, why not? You know what? It's going to make Amy happy, and I'm all about making my friends happy.
Sounds good to me, yeah. If we
I
get
was
to
going
see
to
that,
be
Amy,
like, Vitz, explain what Dragon Force is. But I'm not going to do
for
that.
all of these things for you, Amy. I think if even one or half
this-
of one happens, you've won.
Yeah, I was going to say
You've won in life.
This is the only thing I've mentioned so far that nobody's heard of.
Yeah.
Like I've done quite well with myself. Yeah, I could have really gone down the fucking rabbit hole. Bring back
Oh,
Baroque.
yeah.
Everybody remember Baroque? Release
I'm
a
expecting
Mizerna
your
Falls
5th
in
game
English.
to be absolutely insane. No doubt. No
It's
doubt.
long. There's a lot. I've written a lot.
I bet you have. Final game for me is it's coming out in August, and even though I didn't enjoy the 3rd one because it was just broken in general, but I did enjoy the 1st and 2nd games, and that is Mafia: The Old Country. Really a fan of that franchise. Looking forward to seeing what they do more for it, and hopefully they just come out and just give you a good story with good characters, and that the game works. At the end of the day, the game was very broken when the 3rd one came out, and I think it just sucked the energy out for that franchise, which was
sucked as well because like I remember I still own it. I bought it on Steam, and it was fucked. Like
it was.
But like I remember the opening was so fucking good.
Yeah,
Like
good.
there's a moment I still remember where it's like they're in the bar and like they're talking, and then like the guy betrays the other guy, and fucking Paint of Black starts playing, and it's such a fucking good like opening. But then like I was driving a van down the road, and the car's AI couldn't handle being alive, and like they were just driving in circles and crashing into each other. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
You thought me complaining about popping on Expedition 33 was bad. Freaking hell. You should have known me when I was playing Mafia 3.
I would have supported you when you were playing
And that wasn't
Mafia
even
3.
a fucking QA tester then.
I was with you. I couldn't get down the street. The cars kept crashing into everything.
So for the Old Country, they're moving away from the open world genre. This is a more linear experience.
Good.
So, yeah, hopefully they'll be able to benefit from that. But yeah, I'm all for having more games set in different time periods rather than every game just trying to go for a pseudo modern setting or things like that. Yeah, absolutely. So, let's go back to Sicily. Let's see what's up with that.
Yeah,
let's go for it.
I mean, the last game I played that was set in Italy was Martha is Dead. So hopefully I get a slightly different vibe. Because that was a very upsetting game.
Mamma mia, Martha is dead.
Mamma mia, that was the last game I ever reviewed before it came out.
Exactly.
I saw a tweet by Chris Skillian, who writes at VGC. He was just like, has anybody played Martha? Has any reviewers played Martha is Dead? I really need to talk to somebody. And I messaged him like, I've played it. And like we exchanged a lot of messages that were basically, what the fuck? It's like emotional support because we couldn't talk to anybody about the game. So hopefully, like, yeah, it's chill, it's sunnier vibes. I'm actually really excited to play Mafia: The Old Country.
I am, yeah. I think it could be very fun, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Vitz, final game, sir.
Yeah, so the final thing I would like to see from Hot Game Summer, I had two on my list because I envisioned a world where many of us would have games which are on multiple lists and all the rest of it. But I'm going to go with
If you had
Final
any on
Fantasy
mine.
question mark. Whether that is a whether we see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, whatever that happens to be, something. Maybe shaking her head for audio listeners.
Reunion.
Well, we've had Reunion for Crisis Core, right?
Crisis Core doesn't count. I've decided. I'm the Final Fantasy decider, and I've decided that Crisis Core doesn't count.
But that's where Zach got most of his squats in.
Zach sucks. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Don't boo me.
I'm booing you.
I'm not.
I'm talking to the audience.
He's the best golden retriever that ever was.
The audience is currently booing.
He is the epitome of golden retriever boyfriend energy, and we love Zach. Or I love Zach anyway. Yeah, so Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 or Final Fantasy IX Remake, and they finally get the announcement for that going. I could see Square waiting for something quote unquote big like Hot Game Summer to reveal this. I know that we're not getting any Persona stuff. We might get Persona 4 remake, even though the voice actors have said, "Well, I haven't been invited to reprise my role," which probably states that there is a remake coming, but whether it will be announced here or later at TGS or something like that,
does it?
It's up to them.
Like, if none of the actors have been contacted about the game, does it signify that the game is happening, or is it? I mean, and it is definitely happening, but is that not like more of a signal that the game isn't happening? It's like, well, nobody's been contacted about this thing.
But for Persona 3 Reload, it was an all-new voice cast. I don't think any of the original cast reprised their role, so I think it's just...
They've always had this... Persona games have always had this habit of, like, going for, like, lesser-known actors. And
Giving people a shot, right?
I think, like, with Persona 4, like, Yuri Lowenthal was one of the actors in that game.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think we see Persona 6 before we see a remaster for remake for 4, personally.
And to be fair, I do think that Persona 4 remake does exist. I just think this one specific thing is not like proof that it exists. It's proof of the opposite.
That's fair. Until people are actually playing in their hands, no game exists. Everything is just hearsay. So I think we're agreeing on that point. But yeah, I would love to see more come through.
Final Fantasy VII XVI? Question mark.
No mobile stuff, please. I like to play games on my console or my PC.
If we were to see anything, well, you got to think they've got to be planning to show it eventually. The seventh third game. So you got to. When was the last one? The first one was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So has it come out on PC yet?
Yes.
Yes. Came out of early this year, I think, on PC.
And when did the remake come out?
2020.
2020, yeah.
2020, so COVID, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was still locked in. We were all still locked in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we probably still got a year out before they actually show anything of that new game. If going off from the cycle of how it is and everything, if they go 4 years, probably, because if I remember rightly, I don't think we saw Rebirth for basically 2 years after the remake came out.
Genuinely.
We were all super surprised with that as well, and it was only because there was like, right, we're sticking with Unreal Engine 4. That's why we were able to get turned around so quickly. Whether they do that for this one or they decide to relearn everything for Unreal Engine 5.
Just stick with 4. Engines are engines, like fucking.
But it could be better.
Yeah, they won't. I'd be very surprised if they've changed to like say Unreal 5.
Unreal 5, yeah.
Because they've already got the assets all built and everything already into it, and I'm not an engine guy, so I don't know how easy it is just to transfer from 4 to 5 and everything.
Control C, Control V.
If it is that, it's fantastic and everything.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd be very surprised if they did that and everything. So,
but yeah, for all its flaws, I see how Clear Obscure looks on Unreal Engine 5, and I just want that for the next Final Fantasy VII remake project.
I know, like I like the visual consistency, but like you can go for that with like Final Fantasy 17, right? Like,
Yeah.
like the visual consistency between the three games. Like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is a fucking gorgeous game. So
Yeah, it's a good looking game, no doubt.
Like if
remake was as well.
yeah, exactly. It's like if it's still on UE4 and people are like, "Oh, this game doesn't look very good," I'm gonna fucking slap them.
I mean, but
That's
if UE5 allows them to have better methods for upscaling, then I'm all for them switching, because the FSR implementation that they first went with was shocking, and it led to like characters ghosting everywhere and stuff like that. So if the new engine, and again, I'm not an engine person, much like Moody alluded to, yeah, if that gives them better tools in order to do that, then I'm all for them switching. But whatever works for them.
I guess it ultimately comes down to what Square Enix want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Money.
Like, if Square Enix say they want this game out sooner rather than later. Because the thing that's hurt those games is that it's funnily, even though a lot of people are like saying, "Yay!" if you're a PlayStation guy, that was got the exclusivity has hurt them really on that, and I think they kind of want to get out of that as fast as they want to. So for me, getting out of that as fast as possible is probably getting the third game out is in the quickest, best possible way without breaking and crunching the team.
Yes.
You know, without breaking the game and crunching the team or anything like that, and that would be not probably changing engines. But again,
who knows? Maybe they'll adopt a different model for predicting how many sales they need this time round.
Oh no!
You're right.
That might be the silliest thing you've ever said.
That is the wildest thing anyone has ever said on this podcast.
And we've said some wild things on this podcast.
We've got a new winner.
Vitz, you've topped us all.
Watching us out has been topped.
Congratulations, sir. Amy, final one. Send us out. What is the game you hope to see at the Shitfest next week?
Number 5 is an honest and open discussion about the video game industry collapsing under the weight of mismanagement, corporate greed, and a never-ending hype cycle that is completely unsustainable and is only fueled by overblowing advertising campaigns masquerading as showcases that mostly serves to promote the safest, blandest games ahead of any true innovation or artistry. But then I realized that's not a game, so like Judgment 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
You already said that one as well, so.
Well, I said that hopefully we will eventually hear something about that. But yeah, mine was Project Century. But no, yeah, I would love to see Judgment 3. Like, yeah, I'm really. It's just more of just the hearing that we are going to get a new one. Like the things, it does seem like they've sorted the thing out, what was going on. So hopefully they are working on Judgment 3 and everything like that.
Nice, yeah. Oh, the other thing I said, that'd be cool too.
That would be cool as well, but we're like how Keeley struggles to even get women on this showcase, on his show, so who freaking knows what he'll do these days. So
he's just got a vibe about him.
And he struggles even just to call out the industry himself, in general.
Well, he is the industry.
He is the industry.
I know he thinks he's not, but I mean, he is the industry.
Yeah. Shit happens. Vitz, any of those particularly you fancy that Amy's shouted off?
Yeah, that last one about the video game industry being cooked is definitely something that Jeff should speak about, because he's got the platform and he has a duty to say something about it to an audience that would listen.
Yeah, but then Greg Miller would just come out and say, if you wanted to say something, create your own thing, showcase, and say it yourself and everything like that. As easy as it is, Greg Miller.
Oh, yeah, piece of
Sorry,
cake.
I had to say that. I'm sick of him saying that when people criticize Jeff and he has to come out.
I just hate that argument in general. Oh, well, if you've got to criticize this, do it yourself. Like, that's like, I don't know, and I'm just jumping on the general point. I don't know if Greg Miller's ever said this.
He has.
It's just like playground logic.
Yeah, but no, yeah. I love both of your games. I think I would love to see all of them, just for you, both of you and everything. I think like to see you guys, the games that you would love to see happen next week would be absolutely incredible to see. Heck, even the 6-1 Amy, the 6 ones Amy basically picked. We'll throw that in there. But the heck of it, Jeff grows a pair of balls next week and actually calls out the industry and everything. And yeah, but no, yeah. there's some great games coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing the trailers after the shitfest over the weekend, next weekend, and everything like that.
I reckon if he was going to call them out, he would have the piece, and then he would cut to an advert block from Xbox. That's what it will be. He says, "Here's why the industry is broken, and now let's take a word from Xbox."
Well, that's the thing.
That's how it will
part of the issue is the constant non-stop generation of hype. So like he can't call it out because he's like in the middle of a showcase doing exactly that. That's his business model.
Yeah. The funny thing is about like he's done a call out before, and then it was so bad that, if I remember rightly, Amy, didn't it go into?
It was a call out about workplace abuse.
Yeah.
And like toxic work environments, and then he went, and now the next game from Quantic Dream. And it was like, you're fucking kidding me?
That's just like, read the fucking room, you absolute bellend. That was the day that I lost all respect for him. I was just like, you are just a shill, and you're.
He's shrill. I go shrill. Shrill, and she's a shrill shill. Shrill.
I mean,
shill.
That's why the future class of the Game Awards is no longer a thing anymore.
It doesn't exist.
They want. Exactly, because they wanted him to speak up about the genocide in Gaza, and he wouldn't do that, and then he would stop them from making similar statements around that time when they would get interviewed by publications about what an honor it is to be inducted into the next gen of the class of next gen and that kind of thing. But we will see, but or won't see because many of us won't watch it.
Yeah.
None of us will. Not the whole thing, anyway. Cool.
We'll probably the week after. I'll probably have as a topic our favorite trailers or something like that.
Yeah,
and everything like that. So
I'll do that. There'll be weird niche indie games.
That's for sure.
Just saying. But you already knew that.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt.
Cool. Let's do a halftime because we're well over halfway through the podcast.
We are.
And then we come back. We'll do the rest of the podcast. Let's roll on into that ad break.
What's good, everyone? I'm Vitz Patel. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, let's go.
It's time for Pixel Pop Stars, the video game and pop culture game show. Life is performance beyond. Enter your state of flow.
Season 2 of Pixel Pop Stars on Twitch and YouTube at Vitz Patel.
I mean, I did for Indie Game of the Week. And we are back. Yes, I am going to start with that. Hey, it's time for a little thing we do every week called Indie Game of the Week. This is what we do every week. I've said that 3 times in a row. This is the thing we do every week where we try to talk about a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think looks cool and we think you should wish list. And go and click on that thing, go and look at the game. We like indie games around here.
Well, click on that thing.
Go click on that thing. Pokemon Go to the Steam page.
I was going to let the 2 whitest people on the podcast say that. I wasn't going to go anywhere.
How could you let this happen, Vince? How could you let us do this anyway?
I'm going to let you dig your own graves.
We dug that long ago.
I call that the Words About Games podcast.
Exactly.
No, dig up, you fool.
Exactly.
I've been digging for 454 episodes. If you like indie games, scroll on down to the description wherever you're choosing to listen to and or watch this podcast, because good news, we have a Steam Curator page linked down there, which has every single indie game of the week we have ever done, which is well over 100 games at this point. Approaching 200. We're getting there. We're getting closer. That's a lot of games. Like, imagine how long it would take you to play all of those games.
Like, I gave up on 2025 just to try and catch up on my backlog, so
I know, right?
I'm failing miserably.
That's fair. I'm failing at that. Like, damn, my backlog's got hands. Fucking hell.
It's like the mimes in Claire Obscure.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like you can click on it. By now, there's definitely something in there for everybody. But for now, let's talk about this week's indie game of the week, which is Ikuma: The Frozen Compass. And I like the way this, like, it sets the scene in the Steam store description. 1864, an uncharted island in the Arctic. Cabin boy Sam and loyal husky Ellie are stranded in the unforgiving cold. Endure the harsh elements, uncover a bleak mystery, and find your way home and to yourself. Play solo as both characters, or cooperatively with a friend. Your survival depends on your friendship. Ikuma is a coming-of-age story in which you explore unfamiliar terrain, forage for food, and uncover mysteries, not only in order to survive, but to make peace with your past, and finally become yourself.
Sold. I am in. Added to my
Wow,
wish list.
I've just had a quick look at this, like flick through the trailer. The trailer looks gorgeous.
I know how to pick them.
You
I've
got
had a lot of practice.
A gorgeous little pupper in there. Ellie is a fantastic name for a pupper. Yeah, 100% sold.
Yeah. Co-op as well. You can play this game with a friend. It says there your survival depends upon your friendship. So, Moody, I don't think we should play this game together.
Well, we got until 2026, so you got time to either patch things up or make things worse, whichever way you want to go.
I'm still trying to convince her to maybe try and do Split Fiction. But the last time we played a game together on that from that developer, it didn't go well.
I think that was the last time we played a co-op game.
It was. I think it was. Yeah.
That was a straw that broke the camel's back.
I was like, no, thank you.
And it wasn't our fault. It was directions they decided to go in.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't my fault or Moody's fault, or our friendship's fault.
Just had to make a little girl cry.
The thing is about it, like, insane that game, like, because there's clips with it's on Amy's channel and everything like that. With us playing it, we're having a blast. You can see it. We are absolutely having an incredible time. And then that one part, that one part,
killed
insane. But yeah, absolutely killed it. But
Literally.
anyway. Yeah, this looks gorgeous. I won't lie. What the game you put out, Ikuma.
Ikuma: The Frozen Compass. Yeah, I love it. I like the look of it as soon as I saw it.
Now.
Yep, the link to that game specifically is in the description. Click it. Go have a look. Is there a demo?
There is not a demo at the moment, but I will say it's developed and published by Moon Eye Studios.
It's an X-Fest soon.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Might be something.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. Let's click that, wishlist that game. Go on our Steam Curator page, wishlist all the 100+ games if you want. Or
and
just a few
seemingly this game will run on a potato, so yeah, whatever specs you've got, you'll find to run this game.
a potato.
Then go on Bluesky, hit us all up and say, hi, we're awesome. You guys are awesome for giving us, telling us all about these awesome games.
Yeah, that'd be nice to hear once in a while. I'm just kidding. People have actually told me that.
We are open to head pats here on Words.
But yes, we are open to yes.
I'm easy for them. I'm very easy.
It would be nice to hear it more often. Just saying. But if you've only got a limited amount of love to share around, share it with the indie games. That's going to do it for Indie Game of the Week.
It's time to move on to Vitz's topic.
It is time to move on to Vitz's
It sure is. And not only are we on the eve of Hot Game Summer, we are on the eve of the Nintendo Switch 2. And what I'd like to do is just take a moment to get your thoughts, as well as spouts on my own about what we're gonna look back on this system as after a good number of years, and how we think it's going to play out. And like all the machinations of that, in terms of will the price of games versus the lack of the way salaries have increased in relation to everything, is that going to stifle the adoption of the Switch 2? Are there going to be other factors? Like at the time of recording, we've seen the Supreme Court has halted the tariffs that Trump wants to put in place for this time around, at least. And what like wild and wacky things that it's going to produce for the Switch 2, and some of the games you think we'll get on this, and whether you think they'll be elevated or will it be kind of, okay, they found a formula that worked on Switch 1, and those are the type of experiences we're going to get again. So I just thought on the eve of Switch 2, we'd take a look forward to have a few guesses as to how this is going to shape out. For audio listeners, Amy's doing the shaded look to the far yonder to see what the crack is.
It's like you see a plumber.
Has he got a mustache?
I can't see from this distance.
Mm.
Looks like he's ghost busting.
Is he voiced as by Chris Pratt?
Absolutely
Yes.
not in this house.
Yeah, so I think historically we've spoken about the Switch 2 and whether we're looking to be an early adopter for it or
No, I mean,
otherwise.
No, I'm gonna go
Yes.
out on a limb here and say none of us are gonna be early adopters for the Switch 2.
With the and it's for different reasons in terms of I can only speak to my personal situation with this in terms of I'm fortunate enough to have a PlayStation and a PC which can play some games, and a Switch 2 would be a tertiary system for me, not even a secondary one. And it's kind of for the initial outlay of what it would be, it's too rich for my blood right now for the titles which I'm looking to play. And for a system like that, I don't be looking to play exclusives. Mario Kart World does look incredible, but I'm yet to see the secret sauce that takes it over the top in terms of how fleshed out is that open world. Is it really akin to a Forza Horizon, or is it kind of a watered down experience which is going to lose its shine after a couple of hours of play? And we won't get to see that until we see critical reviews of it and some let's plays of our favorite creators online, that kind of thing. How that game is going to evolve, because one of the things I'm hearing about Mario Kart World is that 150cc feels slower than it did in previous iterations of the game, mainly because the maps are much wider and the tracks are much wider, kind of thing, and you're losing that sense of speed. And with Mario Kart 8, especially with Deluxe, they took their sweet time to introduce 200cc. I believe that came with a DLC pack, and whether they'll do a similar cadence to that, or whether 200cc is indeed in the game and they just haven't spoken about it because weird Nintendo decisions. And outside of
Imagine
Mario
if it was
Kart
just like something you unlocked. What a wild concept.
Like if you won all the Grand Prix on 150cc, then you get to unlock it. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, outside of Mario Kart and Legend of Zelda titles, I'm not sure what other Nintendo first-party stuff would speak to me. And I'm open to be surprised by Nintendo and for them to reveal amazing, incredible titles which are going to catch me by surprise. But for the moment, because we don't know what's on the horizon for Legend of Zelda, it's not something that I'm looking to get right now. Do you have similar thoughts on that? Are there certain games which say, okay, this will be the tipping point for me to say, okay, I know that Pokemon Czar is coming out, and I believe it's October something. They announced a date this week.
Czar, like pizza.
Yeah, exactly. But we understand that is it's a spin-off game, and that's not said derogatory or anything like that kind of thing. But whether it will be as soon as the next quote-unquote mainline Pokemon game comes out, then that'll be the no matter what the cost is, Moody's like slapping down the money. Just shut up and take my money, that kind of thing.
I think for me personally, I think I'm definitely taking a sit back and like see approach, like, because like you said, we're all three of us, I think, are all kind of like, we have like similar reasons but also different reasons to not be like rushing out to switch to a new console right now. And mine is generally around the price, not of the console, but of the games. What I'm interested to see is what happens to the prices of the games going forward, like in the future. Like, and I'm talking like years, where it's like, do those prices come down? Do Nintendo finally participate in sales? Like, and then it becomes cumulative, where it's like, okay, cool. Like, if I can pick this console up in a few years, when it has like a pile of games that I want to play on it. But then it's like, how much is that pile of games gonna set me back, right? Because like in the old days, like if I missed a console at a console generation, I would pick that console up like right at the end knowing I could get a big pile of games that I'd not played relatively cheaply.
Yes, 100%.
Which obviously didn't really happen last time. And I don't think it's really happened this time. Like, again, one of the things I'm really looking at with the Switch is what's this going to do to Switch 1 game prices? Because there's a lot of games I haven't played on the Switch 1.
But I guess with many of them getting Switch 2 upgrades, whether they're free or paid,
sure,
I reckon they're still saying the full price.
And I'm not even necessarily thinking about like what does it do to the Switch 1 game prices on like the eShop or like brand new. It's more like what does it do in the second-hand market where I live, because I buy all of the old games. But because like with the Wii, it's like one of the reasons why like the next console on my list is a Wii U. It's because right now the games are about as cheap as they're ever going to be before they start going up in price. For the Wii U, I'm so fucking jealous of you right now, Moody. You son of a fucking bitch.
That's not my fault. Literally, she just dropped it off here and said, "I'm podcasting, I can't do it." I was like, "You know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna have it."
Son of a you absolute. No offense to your mother. I'm sorry, Mrs. Moody. Fuck your son. For audio listeners, he's just been handed a fucking what is that? Ice lolly.
A lemon ice lolly.
Yeah, a lemon ice lolly. Fucking dick.
Meanwhile, regular listeners of the show will know that Amy lives in a hot box.
I do live in a hot box.
With no airflow.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah. So the price of the Switch 1 games is something I'm going to be very interested in. For the Switch 2 specifically, and I say this genuinely, like the thing that I'm most excited about, like if I was to purchase a Switch 2, let's say within the release window, so like 6 months, would be genuinely be GameCube games.
Yes.
From that sizzle reel image thing that they showed of like, these are all of the games that are coming at some point in the future, and seeing what those games were, like, there's some bangers in there. Like,
yeah, and this week they announced a bunch of features coming to the Nintendo Switch Online system for GameCube, including like a CRT filter and the ability to
one of those when you've got an
and
actual
stuff.
CRT.
Exactly. Do you get like double CRT if you put the filter on one you're having it running through your CRT?
Doesn't look great. Like, as someone who has been in that situation by accident, it doesn't look great. Putting a CRT filter on a CRT TV.
That's it. So, but yeah, if that's the easiest, least difficult way to access GameCube games these days, when you don't have the physical disc, then yeah, for sure, I can see how that has a huge appeal. But again, it's another sunken cost on top of an expensive system, yeah.
And I mean, we talked about. I'm literally just letting Moody finish this ice slowly. But like we talked about. That's why I'm not letting him speak right now, just for everybody's notes. Like we talked about it at the Switch 2 reveal, which the two of us were on Vitz, and I literally said, like, I watched the direct and was ready, like, to buy a Switch 2. Like next week, right? Like to pre-order it so I could get it next week, and then it was the money factor of the games that like pulled me back from the edge of that. So like I'm already sold, like on the Switch 2 as a piece of hardware. Like for me personally, it's a financial thing at this point.
No, 100%. Yeah, and you know we fully respect that. And there was an interesting thing on Polygon today, where they were making the sound argument that it's not video game prices that we should be mad at. It's the fact that wages haven't increased in accordance to everything else in terms of, you know, the price of goods have gone up in the last 20 years by like 62%.
Yeah, right.
But wages have only increased 12%, that kind of thing. But I get that it's an easier task to lobby, quote unquote, a corporation than it is a government to say, hey, do something about the wage.
Sure, like we've all been trying to get more wages for a long time, right? Like,
yes.
I don't know. Randy Pitchford came out with some comments about game prices recently, and it reignited the whole bloody argument.
If you're a real fan,
and then he doubled down today. I saw he had a 600-word rant where he essentially doubled down on what he said.
Perfect.
Oh, so he continued. Oh, great.
Oh well, he's Randy Pitchford, of course he did. But like the part of the part of the argument that always frustrates me is the part that you just said there, Vitz, where it was like, well, back in 1991, the video games in real terms, adjusted for inflation, cost 100 and whatever the fuck pounds, and it's like cool, like, but that whatever the monetary value of that game was, like, is a much smaller percentage of my wage than it is today.
Where sometimes it's when you're considering a system as well as games and any extra controllers you might need and subscriptions on top of that, it can be a healthy chunk of a percentage of someone's given salary kind of. So in a couple of years, so we know that the original Nintendo Switch is tracking to be the best-selling system of all time, and that's including all the different iterations of the OLED and the Switch Lite and all.
Which is fair.
And I imagine Nintendo are going to fold the Switch 2 numbers into it, saying, "Oh, it's the same family of consoles. It's just new." But
I think maybe they would, but I don't think anyone else would track it like that.
Yeah, I don't think anything else would buy it. Do you reckon it's going to sell as much as the original Switch, or was that a kind of moment in time?
No, I don't think. I think it's going to sell extremely well in its launch window, because there's just people who aren't sensitive to price will just buy whatever.
Sure.
I think the games will sell extremely well as well. But do I think if we're sitting here in 7 years talking about the Switch 3, and I'll have to come up with a sick ass pun for that too, like, oh my god, I can't believe Switch 2 is the best selling console of all time. Like, no, I don't think we'll be saying that.
Yeah.
Moody's finished his lollipop now.
He really has.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to cough there. No, at this moment in time, I'm not buying it. No. I see where like people come from, where I say the games are cheaper, blah blah blah, but they are. I don't give a fuck. If I can't afford it, I can't afford it. At the end of the day, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
You know what?
I think it's.
We've spoken thousands of words, and Moody's just summed it up in 5.
It's
all he needed was the lolly to
the lolly
cool his brain,
to cool my brain. Took out the Summerfest and brought in the Cool Fest. But anyway, I think PS5 and Xbox Series X and S or X prices I thought is what I thought they were going to be. I still hated the price for 500. I thought it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And I think what is it, like 450 for the Switch 2? I think it's disgusting. Either way, I just don't think it's. You're paying more now for a console which is just the same power level of the PS4, which released at $399. I know it's 10 years ago and everything like that, completely different type of thing and everything, and we're a different world now and whatnot. I still think it's shit. I don't care what companies or anything like that freaking want to go for. Think, well, we have to do this and this and this and that and that. Yeah, well, at the same time, you gotta, if you want to make a profit on this thing, you got to be able to make it feasible for people to pay for. And as people don't really have a great wage these days for the working class, and who basically they're your bread and butter, Nintendo, the ordinary person out there. With rising costs and bills and rent and everything like that, this tech thing is just not feasible to want to go out and buy and everything like that. Like, I'm happy with my PC, I'm happy with my PS5 and everything. Will I probably look into getting this maybe next year and everything? Obviously, with like Pokemon Generation 5 coming out next year, that's a future Moody problem on the part of just like, we'll see what the price is still then. Because at the end of the day, like you said at the beginning of this topic, it's the Trump tariffs have gone right now. We haven't heard anything, fuck all, from any of the companies who have raised their prices who have been touting, it's because of the tariffs, basically. It's because of the tariffs. Nintendo was shouting that throughout all of it. It's because of the tariffs, and they're like, all right, tariffs are gone right now. Put it down to a reasonable price. Put it down to like $3.99 or something like that. They're not going to. We know this. They're not going to. The £100 or $80, 80 quid freaking Mario Kart that they're saying it's tariffs and everything like that or whatever. I don't give a fuck. It should be put down to a cheaper price and everything like that. Especially as like what Naomi said, Nintendo don't do sales. And if unless they start embracing that now and making it easier for customers to be able to buy these in the future and everything, then I'm all on board for that. And I think I still want the games to be on a cheaper price because like £80 is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that's my big sort of litmus test with like the future like of the next few years of like the Switch 2 is like, okay, you have doubled your price in the UK. You've doubled the price of most of your games. So am I now going to be able to buy these games on sale, like in the future? That's sort of going to, if the answer to that question is no, it's going to be very difficult to convince me to jump in on a Switch 2.
No, 100%. Because no matter how good or bad the hardware is video games which sell a system at the end of the day. And let's move it along so we don't talk in circles about that. But the points you're raising are incredibly valid, and when the rubber meets the road, if you can't afford the game, then you can't afford the game at this point in time.
It's not even necessarily that I can't afford the game, right? Like if I was to break it down, it's like Mario Kart World is £75. Now, I'm not a big enough Mario Kart fan to have ever bought that. Like I've never owned 8 Deluxe on Switch 1 because I like Mario Kart. It's like a fun thing to play when I go to a person's house and they have it. Yeah, I'll play Mario Kart. But like, if it was say like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom 2, Electric Boogaloo, like I would like, and this is something I have to do just because of my income. It's like, well, okay, if that's going to be £75, we'll have to compare that to like what else can I get for £75? Like what, like
100%,
even if I have that £75 and I specifically have it for video games, specifically, it's like, well, what else can I do with this?
Yeah.
Like
how many thousands of indie games can you get for your £75?
How many games can I buy off of indie game of the week list on Steam, right? And the answer is quite a lot. The like what retro games can I get? Like what else can I get? Like, and even then expand it beyond. Like what board game can I buy for £75? Like what like which is like I'm gonna be able, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's that comparison that I'm constantly making in my head, and it's not just about Switch 2. It's about all things that I buy, right? It's like what can I do with this money?
Because these things at the end of the day they become an investment and don't just become a one-off purchase, and you need to balance all that out. One thing I do want to say now that the system has, let's say, more of a parity with, say, the previous generation of consoles, for argument's sake, and with more third-party support at least appearing to come to the platform, do you reckon it makes it a more viable purchase if that's your only system that you have?
That's an interesting question, really, because
depends
on you don't necessarily need a PlayStation, you don't necessarily need an Xbox. Well, you don't need an Xbox anyway because
no one needs
Xbox is everything, kind of thing. But yeah, that is true. But given that, if third party is going to come to Nintendo Switch 2 in a meaningful way and is not going to run like crap, does it make it more of a viable system for that to be the only game console in a household?
Depends on how big of the audience is that cares about visuals. If that audience is large enough, then no, the Switch 2 dies on impact, basically. But it won't, because it's Nintendo. Nintendo still have that aura around them that they are Nintendo. They brought out a Switch that no one was expecting whatsoever and blew everyone away for the most part and everything. Yeah, I only really used it for Pokemon games and everything like that. Everything, nothing else really screamed out to me. Just me and everything. Like, when I probably do get a Switch 2, in the future, it will just be for the Pokemon games. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that, but it's going to be a while. Like, so the earliest it's going to be like November next year, the earliest for me, probably when the next Generation 10 will come out. I'm taking a guess there, but the thing is about it, it's going to come down, like, again, it's for me, it's come down to one thing and one thing only. It's going to be price. And Nintendo doing what they've decided to explode the industry into thinking, we can do this earlier, when everyone was expecting Grand Theft Auto. We all like Grand Theft Auto is probably going to be 80 or 100 quid next year. And the industry's thinking it's going to be the saving grace and everything. It's not going to be the bloody saving grace. No. It's going to be an incredible saving grace for that company, but the industry is going to hurt. Next year could be really bad.
There's been this is an interesting knock-on effect. Like the £80 game. like is an interesting knock-on effect that might just have knocked over all of the dominoes. Like not right now, like because no one's done it yet. Even Nintendo technically haven't done it yet. None of their games.
Oh, yeah, this is not out until
Not
next
until next week. Yeah.
But like you think about like GTA can get away with it, you know. But like, can Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 get away with £80? It wasn't
100%.
getting away with 60, and it didn't get away with 70. So.
But the gates have been open now.
But there's going to be this, like we've already seen it with Borderlands, right? Like
yes,
there's this assumption that because you're a AAA game, you have to charge this because that's the maximum ceiling price.
Yeah,
and that's a holdover from an attitude in the games industry from 10, 15 years ago, where it was like any game that wasn't full price when it came out was seen as subpar or substandard. And there's like a hangover that we're only just starting to shake off. That's the case, but like you see it with like again, is Borderlands 4 going to meet its sales expectations if it charges £80? I don't think so. And I think there's a lot of games companies that think they're going to be able to get away with this that aren't, and I think those are the dominoes that are going to fall. To your original question, what was your original question again?
Now that third-party support is going to be on Switch 2 in a more meaningful way, is it a more viable single
I did have an
platform
answer to that as well. Like it depends on how much you like Nintendo games. Like if you're talking like you're only one person who has one console, so you're looking at the PlayStation and the Switch.
Yes.
Like if you're really into Nintendo games, yes, it's going to be a viable console because you're going to get a steady stream of cool Nintendo games that you really like. As far as third-party support goes, no, not at all. Because right now, in the year of Our Lady 2025, it does have parity with the consoles of the previous generation. In 2 years, when the Switch 2 is still Nintendo's current console and will be for the foreseeable future, it's going to have parity with with 2 console generations ago. So the trajectory of like video games is always like power. It's always like more power. So when you're thinking about those third-party support, it'll still have it for indie games and smaller games. But the gap is going to widen significantly in a couple of years, to the point where like Cyberpunk 2 is never going to be able to run on a Switch 2.
Yeah, there is that. Unless they figure out some shenanigans with cloud streaming and all the rest of it. But Moody, I put a pin in a conversation that you were bringing up about Pokemon. I just want to run back to it. So today I saw a statement, and it was from a Japanese publication. It was from an interview there, and they were talking about the upgrade that the last set of Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet. Yes.
Scarlet and Violet,
and the upgrade they're going to get for the Switch 2. And they described the new frame rates and visual qualities is going to make a, quote, comfortable experience, which is them admitting that that the launch experience of Scarlet and Violet was an uncomfortable experience to play. So even they know they were messing up. But you know what? They're saying, on Switch 2, all you got to spend is, £500 or whatever it is, and you can have a experience now playing this. I just thought that was wild.
What I love about Japanese companies in general, just Japanese people in general, Japanese like as a language is one of the most I think is one of the most beautifulest languages out there, and one of the most progressive not progressive emotional languages as well. Like they can get across a lot with saying a little bit as well. And at Japanese people, to what I've like researched and looked into, like what videos and everything and what I'm reading, it's like they're very polite people out there. But in companies and everything like that, they just can't say sorry. they struggle. For people who love saying arigato gozaimasu, thank you very much, and everything like that. As a company, they just can't come out and just say, we are sorry, we fucked up, we sorry, type of thing.
Can't do the waist bow. Yeah, we can't do that. No.
Yeah, they can't just come down and bow. We are sorry, please. We swear it's going to work this time on the Switch 2 and everything. And I'm just like, all right, I'll try it. Maybe I'll have a look in the future. But yeah, that's.
I look forward to you having a comfortable experience.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this update for Scarlet Valley that plays at 30 frames and 6 to 30 frames from the beginning all the way to the fucking end and everything. That's all I care about.
15 would be an improvement, Nintendo.
That she would know. Yeah, she got to the end and it went down to what, 1 frame? Didn't you say?
I've got
you?
footage.
Sometimes
It looks like it's going in slow motion.
yeah, like it's insane to this day to me that I haven't finished those games and Amy has.
100%.
That's how insane it
I'm
is.
just hardcore. What can I say? Like,
Yeah, you are.
Hardcore Amy, that's what they say.
You should look to become a QA tester, Amy. I think you would be fucking perfect for it.
probably. I'd probably be too sarcastic for it though.
No. You will fit in. Trust me.
Okay.
To go back to the question I posed earlier about the third-party support, I think Nintendo have been masters for one way or another of being the good enough system. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. When the Mortal Kombat 1 port came out, and that was abhorrent. That was abysmal. That was unacceptable kind of thing. But for the most part, for the way that not like people like us, but the majority of people how they play their video games, they don't give a hoot about so long as they can play and they can have a good time. They don't give a hoot about how it runs. Like if they're playing in handheld mode predominantly, then they don't give a crap that it's not running at 1080 60 when it's plugged into a TV or whatever like that.
That's the interesting part about that statement, because like if we take Bloodborne as a touchstone in this discussion, it's like, there's a big movement of Bloodborne fans that want to remaster because they wanted it at 60 frames a second. I've never given a shit about that.
But
so
is that
I'm
indicative?
On that side.
Is that indicative of your the way your tastes differ from other fans of FromSoft games with their love of powering and stuff like that? So
I mean, you still have to dodge, like. So like
I get that, but would it be? I'm trying to say that is it a better experience for those who want to use the parry system within Bloodborne to have a 60 frames per second experience rather than 30?
Can't you parry at 30 frames per second?
You can parry at 30 frames.
I'm sure you can, but
obviously, like with 60 frames a second, you have twice as many like input windows.
Yeah, the window.
But
I get that. Yeah.
No, I mean for me, like I'm not someone who sits here and goes, I can't. Like I'm not one of those dickheads that like will try to argue like I can't see the difference between 60 and 30 frames a second. The human eye can't process. Like shut up. Yes, it can. 60 frames a second is obviously better than 30. Like I've played games on both. But like to what you just said, like I'm in that camp of like, well, as long as I'm having a good time, I don't really care what frame rate is running up.
Fair enough. So for the majority of people, they don't give a hoot, and so long as it's good enough, the Switch 2 is going to be.
That's weird.
You are in the majority. You're no longer contrarian, Amy.
Oh God,
what's that doing to you?
What's happening?
Absolutely. You're no longer old. So long as they provide a good enough experience, then people are not going to give a hoot. And for sure, it does. 4K and 120 hertz mode and handheld and all the rest of it, and people aren't going to notice. So long as Mario looks pretty and the Pikachu looks pretty on the system, that's all they care about. And now that more titles are going to come to the Switch 2, at least in the early part of the system's life cycle, to your point, Ames, as soon as the delta increases between what current gen systems are putting out versus Switch 2, then that will be a harder sell to bring these games to the system. Then I think for families who only have the means to get one system, I think the Switch 2 is a viable one. And
it depends on the tastes of the people in that household.
100%. And if those people vibe with PlayStation exclusives, then that'll be they're leaning towards that, or getting a PC that will have those.
All right, kids, it's time to play The Last of Us Part 2. Yay!
Exactly. Fire up the PC.
Let's do this.
Close solitaire. We're playing Last of Us.
I can't wait to see what Joel and Ellie get up to this time.
As much as I'm enjoying this conversation, we set this joke up a while ago.
Love it.
So Switch 2. for all those dear listeners who are looking forward to getting that, we're not meaning to cramp your style in any way, shape, or form.
Oh God, no! Like
yeah.
I know people who work at Nintendo, and I love them to pieces, and I hope they do. I
100%.
hope they succeed in everything. And they're having a really tough time for some reason at the moment at work. It's a lot of hours, and I send them all of my best love and positive vibes.
That's it. And yeah, we hope you have the best time with the system, and I hope that one day we're in a position where we can join you out in the sun of Nintendo.
Yeah, I want to be playing my Switch 2 and the rooftop parties and the basketball courts.
This is it. But
yeah, it's time to play a game that we play every week, and some might say this is the most pointless game that exists on the internet, and they'd be right. It's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the score, which is usually Moody, gets a point or two if they manage to guess the score correctly at the time of recording. So I'm just going to speed run through these 5 without comment. Just they all have more or less the same result, and then I will invite comment. So we have 5 games. The first one was Into the Restless Ruins. Moody, you guessed it would get an 80. I guessed it would get an 87. Vitz guessed it would get an 88. At the time of recording, Into the Restless Ruins has an OpenCritic average of 82, which gives Moody a point. Next up, Elden Ring Night Rain. Vitz, you guessed it would get a 90. Moody, you guessed it would get an 88. I guessed it would get a 91. At the time of recording, Elden Ring Night Rain has an OpenCritic average of 80. Next up is 2 a T. I guessed it would get a 77. Moody guessed it would get a 75. Vitz didn't. At the time of recording, 2 a T has an OpenCritic average of 72, which gives Moody a point. Next up, Fuga Melodies of Steel 3. I guessed it would get an 85. Moody guessed it would get an 83. At the time of recording, the game has an OpenCritic average of 82, which means Moody gets a point. Say it along with me. And lastly, F125. I guessed it would get technically my keyboard guessed it would get a 68. Moody guessed it would get an 80. At the time of recording, F125 has an OpenCritic average of 80, which gives Moody 2 points.
GG Moody.
For anyone not keeping track, that is 6 points to Moody this week.
I'm surprised Elden Ring Night Rain
I'm actually
is
not
tracking so low. But, it's a different type of experience with it being more multiplayer focused, and how a lot of the magic for me, at least in Elden Ring, is the exploration aspect. And you don't physically have time to do that with the encroaching circles. And yeah, it's a battle royale style system. And that, like, to me, everything that I'm hearing about the game from people who are like, I'm not jiving with this as much, is exactly why I was like hesitant to jump in, if that makes sense. Like, I'm basically, having seen the preview materials and stuff, I'm basically on a par with that sort of mindset anyway. Basically. 100%. And then the lack of crossplay at launch, I think, is a huge miss for this. I appreciate that it's tricky to make that a thing, but I think for a multiplayer centric game, to not be able to play with your friends across PlayStation or PC or Xbox or whatever you happen to be playing on, it's wild. But GG Moody for all those points.
Well done.
Thank you for not turning up.
Golf clap.
You're very welcome.
That puts the current scores at Amy 8, Vitz 12, Moody 26. This is starting to feel familiar. This week, we're going to guess one game and one game only. Mario Kart World.
Moody to go first.
Moody up to bat.
Exactly.
Here comes the pitch.
Steps up to the hockey.
It's a home run. This is how he wins every week, because he actually thinks about it.
You mean you'll just pick a number out at random?
Well, I'm doing I'm being Miss Positivity this year, and it's going really well.
Yeah, it sure is.
So positivity that one of the games she picked last week, she voted for a 63 or whatever.
My keyboard voted for that.
Hey, F125, all bets are off when it came to that game. I watched the breaking point as a single cutscene, and that was rough.
oh god, the whole thing, that whole breaking point was never good. So it was like
It wasn't, but it was so cringe. It was.
It was
You
the
couldn't miss
first
it.
one because I watched you stream the first one. It was cringe. It was cringe enough to be
yeah.
entertaining.
And now the thing is, the first one's like, oh yeah, when it first came out, but now because it's like skips a year, everyone's forgotten about it, and then they brought it back this year after not being in last year. Everyone's like, oh wait, is this back? Why?
I will
Is
say
this back?
they finished the story in this one, so then I don't think they're bringing this back, especially because
thank fucking
EA
God.
are kind of streamlining everything that Codemasters is doing. Right. But
Uh,
Moody, what's Mario Kart World getting?
93.
93. Yahoo! I'm
I
gonna
think I've gone way
guess.
too high there. I've gone way too high. Way too high.
I'm gonna guess 86.
We're in a similar ballpark, Ames. I wasn't going to go above 90. I'm going to go with an 89, please.
Oh, it's gonna get like a fucking 97 or something. Just because Moody said it's gonna get 93. Moody, I think Moody has been paying game reviewers
That's why I can't afford
to say
a Nintendo
positive
Switch
things.
2.
I've heard this week that this is a thing. Like you can pay people for positive or negative views on a game.
Just
what I've
because we
heard.
said we would do it.
There's nothing in the rules to say you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the rules to say a dog can't play.
I managed to drop that reference in real life this week. I was very proud of myself.
Yeah.
Nice. Love a
Yeah, I
good
don't-
real world reference, Rob.
All right.
Game reviews, when it comes to like mainline Nintendo games, for me are very positive overall when it comes to the mainline games. So that's why I've gone a little bit higher than I think I should have gone. But yeah, shit happens.
I'm
Alright.
sure you'll get a point this time next week. Yeah, that's going to do it for episode 454 of the Words About Games podcast. Moody, you know what to do.
Hello, everybody. Be proud. You made it. Another day is behind you. Another week has passed. But do you want to know what else you have? A future that is all yours to decide. Let it fly your heat of fury because it's time to party. We all welcome each other from far and wide. We'll be helping each other out all the way. Go live your best life. It all starts from level 1. Go now, high five that sky. Live long and prosper. Roll into them titties and journey is yours. And it starts now.
Hit the button.
I'm holding the laptop.
Hit the button.
Uh,
I feel like too young